Hi, ladies. Okay, let's talk for a minute about marriage, about dating preferences. All right. Um, it's really not something that I believe that we as a group were taught growing up, but it is something that I have seen other cultures do all the time. Okay. Um, they say when the girls are dating, they only date within their religion because that's what they do. They only date with, they won't date anyone outside of the religion. Okay. There's no point in asking because that's the first thing they'll ask. Are you this? Are you that? And if you say no, then they're like, okay, yeah, I only date these kind of guys. And they'll kick you off and send you on your way. Um, we have not been taught to date that way, and we need to learn to date that way. Okay. If you're dating and you want to be married, only date marriage-minded men. Okay. If you want to be married, and hear me now, only date marriage-minded men. And when I say marriage-minded, I mean he is ready to be married within the next 2 years. Because if that's what you want, to be married within the next 2 years, then okay, fine. Now, if you're younger, I can understand you need to wait. All right. But even in college, okay, groups got together based on religion and their desired family. Okay. They didn't date the guy that was going to be perpetually single. Okay. Everybody, because it's such a small world in college, everybody kind of knows everybody, right? Yeah, he already done dated like 8 girls on campus. This dude is just dating. If you are looking for marriage, a guy that wants to get engaged, okay, before you leave college, don't date him. Don't date him. All right. And we need to really kind of think about that when we are picking men to date. All right. Let's say you want to be married, but no children. All right. I want to be married, but I don't want to have kids. Only date men who say, I don't want kids. I want to be married. I want to be in a serious relationship, but I don't want kids. Now, if you date a guy who says, well, I might want a couple of them, and you have decided unequivocally that you don't want children, don't date him. Now, it might seem like you're going to change his mind or he might change his mind over time. If you've made up your mind, you have to date on your own criteria, not on what you think he might do. Okay? Because you don't know what he's going to do. All right? You need to always, as a woman, date your criteria. Okay. Men who look like us only get married 35% of the time. That's it. Only 35% of them ever marry. So when you're deciding to date, you got to remember that. Okay. You're dating a guy and don't let these men dangle the carrot of marriage in front of you if you're marriage minded, because there are signs that a man will give you that he is wanting to marry. All right. We'll get into that in another video, but you don't want to date guys who don't want to be married. Okay. Hey, or even guys who don't even want to be in a relationship. There are guys out here saying things like, well, I don't like to give it a title. I just like to hang out. I just like us to vibe. Okay. None of that is marriage language. None of it is marriage language. This is not a man who's looking to make a commitment, put a ring on your finger and get you down the aisle. Okay. None of that says marriage. We're going to vibe. We're going to hang. We're going to chill. No. Okay. And do not try and talk yourself into believing that that's how it starts, because no, it's not. There are men out here who want families. They want to marry. They want to have kids. They want to buy a house. All right. They are already working that out right now. All right. Those are the guys you want to date. All right. Because when a man is ready to get married, he's already got the basics set up. He has a stable income. He is probably already a homeowner or preparing to buy a home. He's got a stack of money somewhere so he can buy a house. Okay. He's preparing depending on his age. Now, an 18-year-old guy, I wouldn't expect that of. But if you're like in your 20s and he's in his 30s, he should be preparing for marriage. And I've always said that, okay, you can pick the age group. If you want you and your husband, you and your mate to go along together, you're the same age. Okay. Then you are in the same places, in your life. You just come out of high school, or maybe you're 20 and you're both just working jobs, trying to figure things out. Maybe, trying to figure out if you need more education. All right. So even in those conversations, where are we now and where are we going? You're going to marriage and he's going to, climb the Himalayas, and then maybe spend a few years in Switzerland, and then maybe backpack across some other continent, but you're looking to get married in 2 years. Don't date him. Okay? No. If a man wants to marry later in life, and many do, you meet them in their 20s, you're 20, and he's not going to get married for 10 years. He already knows that in his mind. But you want to be married in the next 5 years. Don't date him. Don't date him, all right? So I am an advocate for marriage. If that is what you want to do, go for it. But you just have to be very careful. Is this a man that you can grow old with? If you're already sick of his mess, if you're already fighting every other day, if he has a temperament that just doesn't vibe well with yours, imagine what it's going to look like 30 years from now. Is it going to get better? Probably not. It's going to get worse, if anything. Marriage tends to do that. It makes things worse, not better. Okay, so write your marriage contract, think what you want, and then only date the men that want what you want. And you have to catch him at the right time, because he may be 20 years old and thinking about marriage, but he's not going to get married for 10 years or 12 years. When do you want to be married? If you want to be married 5 years, 6 years, and you know he doesn't, cut it off. Go find you somebody that's ready to be married now. Do not wait for him to change, okay? Men don't change. You're not going to talk him into changing, okay? He may change 10 years from now, but he's not changing for you, and he's not changing right now, okay? Love you, ladies.